Hey everybody, I am posting a food storage video, and the purpose of this food storage video is to show you a unique way of looking at it, a different technique to build up your food storage. You're going to find lots of information on YouTube and on websites and things like that, and they're pretty the same as far as their style and the way that you should do it. And the way that we do it is very different. It's definitely going to be a unique way of looking at it. And so if you're interested in food storage, if you're interested in something like this, then stay tuned and I will show you what I've got. I'll show you my spreadsheet and I'll show you the way that I do it. It's perfect, so stay tuned. Okay, so there's not a lot of light in here, but this is just what we've got. This is our food storage room down in our basement. We have a finished basement. It's really nice. So we have got carpet and temperature controlled basement. This is our long-term food storage supply. I bought this from some person who had just purchased some and bought way too much and they needed to get rid of it, so it was definitely a blessing that I was able to get that. You can see we just stocked up on cereal. So this is what we've got in our food storage room. It's our laundry soap right there. So if you open the door to the food storage room, you're going to go into the concrete room called the cold storage room. Looks like we're getting low on water. I love to can when I can. And we've got room for more shelves when we get ready for that. We are going to be putting a chest freezer down here somewhere to stock up on meat, but we've got lots of extra room for some more shelves in the future. So now on to how we do it. It's very overwhelming when you read food storage blogs and articles and things like that. It's very, it just seems like a lot. I get headaches just looking at them. I get very overwhelmed. We buy a year's supply of 1 or 2 or 3 or more items, however many we can afford that time when I go shopping. We buy a year's supply of one item at a time. We go shopping at Winco, my husband and I, every 2 weeks. We live in Utah, so Winco's around. We go again every 2 weeks, and every time we go shopping, we get as much as I can afford, but a year's supply of whatever it's going to be. So you can see if I've got something, I've got a lot of it. If I'm low on it, it's because it's been a year since I bought it and it's almost time to restock. So for example, we go through about 12 bottles of ketchup a year, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bottles left. So I stocked up on ketchup about 5 months ago, so I've got about 7 months left before I need to restock up on some more. You can see up here we've got our medications up way high so that no children can reach them. Make sure that that's something that you make sure to stock up on if anyone in your family takes medications, that you stock up on that. Not only specific medications, but things like Tylenol, ibuprofen, Benadryl. You want to make sure that you have plenty of that on hand if needed. So in addition to what I've just showed you, we also have a freezer outside that has food storage in there as well. Let's see, what else did I... Oh, and water. We've found that 11 cases of water lasts our family of 7 well over a year, so that's a good stock up on that. So now I'm going to show you how we do this. My son says this is very distracting, this piece of hair right here. He says I should call it Pico. If you guys want to know where I got these shelves, they are extra deep shelves at Home Depot. I believe they're $50 a piece. Super, super worth it. We just got them a little bit by little bit as we could afford, and as we filled up a shelf, by that time we were ready for our next shelf. So these are from the Home Depot. Extra deep. Okay, so this is on my computer, my food storage inventory Excel on a spreadsheet on Excel. I just want to show you real quick some of the things here. This is what I've decided to do with keeping track of what I've got. The product names are here. Notice I've got things that are non-food as well. I don't just stock up on food. I stock up on anything that my family's going to need that I buy at the grocery store. It really is just off my receipts. Whatever I buy, I'm going to stock up on it. And so here in red, those are the things that I found the best price. If that way I can look for that price next time. chances are if you get it on sale at a certain time of the year, it's going to go on sale exactly that time of the year next time. So if you do your math correctly, you should be about ready to restock exactly a year from then, and it should be on sale at that exact same time. So for instance, we got bottled water. Each case was $1.88. There was a case of 24 bottles in one case, and we got 11 cases. So this right here is if it was on sale or not. So we live in Utah where they do case lot sales and mini case lot sales. So that's really nice that they do that here. And then down here we have how much I spent, the total amount. So if it was 88 per case and I got 11 cases, it was around 20 bucks. This is where I purchased it. This is, I didn't start filling this out until later, so this part's blank on this section of it, but I just started inventorying if I saved any money. It's just good to see the savings. For example, I was able to get cereal at a case lot sale instead of buying it at regular price, and I saved $200 that year, so that was really great. This is how much it's going to last. Hopefully this will be a year or more. Some of these items, if I were to scroll down, don't last a year. Parmesan cheese, the shelf-stable Parmesan cheese only lasts 8 months, so I can only get 8 months of that. So I have to keep track of that. Some of the things aren't going to last a year. Some of the things will last longer in the freezer, so that's why I've got some things in there. This is the date that I purchased it. So you can see I have started this. This is the very first thing I bought. I started this just over 2 years ago. And down here and farther to the right, I've got notes and expiration dates and things like that. If there's anything that I needed to note on, then I can add that on there and check it out. So I'm just going to show you guys real quick. These are all the things I have been able to stock up on. And we're going to keep going down so I can show you how much I was able to get in 2 years' time. A little over 2 years. So 135 items. I have a year's supply of 135 things. That's pretty good. Just really quick for an example of a note that you could add to it. I got a year's supply of juice, and it was pretty crappy juice, so I just put a note on there for next year to get some better quality juice. So over here, really quick, we've got red, blue, tan, pink, and white, I guess. This is just to differentiate the types of categories that we've been able to get taken care of. The tan, or the white over here, the gray, is the non-food items. It's great to see that that list grow, because a lot of people forget about things like toothpaste and sanitizer and things like that. And it just goes off your receipts. So if you stock up on the things that you have in your receipts, you're not going to forget about the non-food stuff, because you have to buy that. So if you look on your receipts, you make note to buy those things. And in the purple or the lavender is our food. The tan is emergency preparedness essentials that we were able to stock up on. And the blue is our water. Don't forget about water. And then the red over here is our 72-hour kits and financial reserve. It's a very good idea to have savings and to have financial reserve accessible in an emergency. So I just wanted to show you guys this list really quick. When I first started doing this, I made a master list of anything I could possibly think of. I even went to a grocery store inventory and just wrote everything down that we use. And at that time, everything that you see is black, because I hadn't gotten any of it yet. And over the course of the 2 years, most everything has been able to turn red. As I've gotten it and stocked up on it, I click it red. That's when I know I've got it. And it's really great over the months to have this change colors every single 2 weeks. I can make more things red because I've got it. It's a really great progress tracker for me. And at the end of the day, there is more money in the bank for more food storage, and then you can certainly have plenty of room in your budget for your produce and your dairy and things like that. How many times have I said things like that? I just wanted to show you guys an example of my grocery list. Over here at the top is where I do my food storage section of it. Here are the things that I would like to stock up on next that I haven't yet. This is the next thing I'm going to be getting. This is frozen juice concentrate. And the number here is how many we are going to use in a year. So I'm going to buy 26 of those. Over here you see the stars. These are, like I said, they're starred, so they are priority. I just used my last powdered sugar, my last thing of paper plates, and my last container of yeast this last 2 weeks. That is the most important thing to get the next time I go shopping. It's going to be the very, very first thing at the checkout before I get anything else, so that I make sure that I get stocked up on it. I have a budget. We have a budget of $500 a month when we go grocery shopping. There is a minus 73 here. We went $73 over budget the last time I went shopping because we had to stock up on something that was a little bit more expensive. And so to make sure that I stay within my budget, I am deducting 73 from the next time I pull out my cash to go shopping for the next month. There are going to be times where you're going to have to do that, especially if what you're getting is going to be very expensive. You will probably have to borrow from yourself for the next month, or you're going to have to just decide to do without things that you would like to have that month. And just make sure that you stay within your budget. So that's what this is for. And as long as you do that, you're staying within your budget. There's many times that I don't think I can afford to do it. And so we go without a little bit of luxury that time, and we are just fine. It's no problem at all. One more thing to remind you guys, on the days that you're going to be stocking up on something that's going to take up a lot of space or be very heavy, such as toilet paper or anything that's humongous, you will need some help and extra carts. So plan for that and be ready for the spectacle at the grocery store. It's kind of fun, and people will ask you questions, and then you'll get to tell them how smart you are by stocking up. So just real quick, I wanted to show you an example of what was in one of our 72-hour kits. We've got, as I said, 7 people in our family. There's 5 kids, and then mom and dad. So this is daddy's backpack, and each 72-hour kit has a printed version of this right inside. So as soon as you open it up, you know who's got what in there. And so that's just a quick example of what we have in our 72-hour kits. Okay guys, so the last part of this video is going to be showing you the tips to make this actually successful. Okay guys, I'm just going to hold the phone here while I explain the tips here. And there's no first in, first out. There's just one yearly rotation. All of what you bought, again, has the same expiration date. You bought it all at the same time. So when you get low and it's time to restock a year from then, you will grab that item that you need, and you will be holding on to it when you write it down on your grocery list to restock. You'll put a big star next to it, and that's how you know it's an absolute priority to restock on another year's supply of that item. If you put it down, you will forget to write it on your grocery list, and you'll forget to restock up on it, and you don't want to do that. As well, I already explained that I do not spend any extra money doing this technique of food storage. It all comes out of grocery budget for a family of 7, plus I watch a few daycare children throughout the week, so that adds to how much I need to spend on food. You will spend the same amount of money buying a year's supply of everything you buy in a year as you would grocery shopping normally for a year. I'm going to say it one more time. You will spend the same amount of money buying a year's supply of everything you buy in a year as you would grocery shopping normally for a year. And again, that might not make a lot of sense, but it just validates the fact that this system is the exact same to the penny that grocery shopping just normally for a year costs. The only bonus to the way I do it this way is that you can get stuff on sale and get it cheaper. Okay, for insurance purposes, try to track your inventory and progress like I showed you on an Excel sheet. It does not have to be something that you have to constantly upload and update and redo on like as a laminated sheet in the basement or anything like that. It just is for the purposes of adding to it so that you know what you've got, how much you've got of it, and you can track your progress. I don't ever have to redo anything after a year of buying something. I do not upload it again the next year. I just do it the very first time. So I know I have 136 items, and if I can't find something and I say, did I have that? Did I ever buy that? I can look and say, oh, yeah, I did buy olives. So I guess I just used them all up and forgot to put them on my grocery list, so I can just make sure that I get that. Or I can look at it and say, yeah, I do have olives. I guess I didn't look hard enough. And I go back down to my basement and I say, oh, yeah, there they are. I just missed them. So it's very, very good information for you to have. You might want to take pictures of it for insurance purposes in case anything ever happens to your house. You can get that money back and you're not lost. Another big bonus to this method is when you buy a year's supply of one thing all at once, you don't have to buy that item for a whole another year. You save that much money for the whole year not having to buy it. And that money can be spent on more food storage, and every shopping trip just compiles upon itself in that regard. The more year supplies of items you have, the less you have to buy and the more money you have in your budget. And it just compiles and compiles. You're going to be tempted to spend that money on fluff, stuff that you don't really need, You're going to have extra money every single time you go shopping. That's just a natural reaction of this system of doing it. And you're going to be thinking, yay, I can buy extra snacks for the kids. Don't be tempted to do that. It takes a lot of willpower to do it this way. When you get extra money, as you will see that you will have, you must use that extra money to buy more food storage. Another thing to note is that some math will have to be done. You know what your family eats, and you know how often and how much of each item your family uses in a year's time. You also know how much things cost. Every state and every city and every grocery store, whatever place you go to, you know how much things cost. You will have to do the math in the store to decide how much you will need to buy and how much it will cost. For an example, we shop at Winco every 2 weeks, like I said. That's 26 times in a year. For example, we eat a 24-ounce jar of peanut butter every 2 weeks. That's 624 ounces of peanut butter. That equals to 39 pounds of peanut butter in a year. So we eat 8 of those jumbo 5-pound tubs of peanut butter, and we know that it will last us 1 year. That costs us $75. So you have to do the math yourself, but you do not have to do any calculations from other websites. It's just all from your receipts, from what you guys eat to your standards. One more point that I have already said, I'm just going to drive it home. When it's time to restock on that item, it needs to be of utmost priority. Restocking on that item or items, sometimes you need to get more than one thing that time. It needs to be more important than anything else in your cart. It needs to go first. It needs to be more important than your milk, than your diapers. It will ensure your success, I promise you. If you get tempted to think, I can't afford it this week, we just don't have the money, I'll get it next week, you never will be able to afford it. And if you think like that, it's just not going to succeed. Get it anyway, you'll be fine, I promise you. And if you stay the night, yeah, do alright, you might be coming back for more. And if you're coming back, we must be on the right track, and I'll be stepping up for sure. If it's alright with you, I'll book a table for two at this fancy restaurant.